Hello everyone, welcome to this Sims 3 house design video. So today I am here in Plymouth Isle building a 3-bedroom house on a hillside here. Now if this is the first house build for Plymouth Isle that you're watching on my channel, Plymouth Isle is a world that I created completely from scratch, and you can check out that series on my channel. So this house is built on lot number 38, and it's a 3-bedroom and 3-bathroom house, and it's 2 stories with a basement. So it's right across the street from Indigo Craftsman, which I did a few houses ago, and right next door to Vermilion Verandas. And I kind of wanted to keep this house a little bit smaller because when I built Indigo Craftsman, which is on the lot right across the street, so it's on basically the same hillside as this one, I went with a 4-story house. So it was like 2 levels completely above ground and then 2 basement levels. So with this one, what I wanted to do was, instead of building the house higher up on the hill, you can see I'm making this like retaining wall that kind of makes this little courtyard little area here between the house and like the hill. And that way the house, can be a little bit lower on the hill. And then instead of having the basement be below street level, like the bottom basement be below street level, I have the single basement still pretty high above street level. So that way this house is only 3 stories and it's not such an insanely huge house, which is kind of more of what I was going for. Now this house ends up costing 115,000-ish simoleons. So I think that's a good price. I think that's about right for what this house should be. So, it's right in that kind of upper mid-range category of price for the houses in this world. And as you can see here, I am kind of making this interesting little sloped area, which is going to go over the front door. But when I started building this house, I had no idea what I was going to make. Usually I have like some idea of like, oh, I know what I want to build on this lot, what kind of house I want it to be. With this one, I really didn't know. I kind of just went in without any idea of what I was going to make. And this is what came of it. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it though. It's a very kind of cozy house. What I went for with this one was to make something that was supposed to be like an old house, but not old and dated, but in a charming way. You know what I mean? Like it's meant to be like an old house that is, it's kind of dated, but it's like a nice house still. It's not like, a dated house that's like kind of ugly. So that's what I was aiming for with this. Now, I guess it doesn't necessarily mean I achieved it, but I think it looks pretty nice. So that was kind of the idea here, because someone asked me a couple houses ago, I can't remember which video it was in particular, they asked like why I use some of the cheaper objects in my houses quite often. That's because a lot of the houses I've been building recently for the world tend to be older looking houses. That's at least the goal that I have, is to make them kind of look like older houses. And especially for like the smaller ones, like this one, like 3 bedrooms ish, so like maybe between 50 and 150,000 simoleons, I decided to go with the older appliances and objects and things, because I want the houses to look like they're old, and look like they haven't necessarily been like remodeled or anything like that. Like these are like the original, finishes that were done in like the kitchens and bathrooms, etc. for these kinds of houses. And then like for the larger ones, so like I guess Vermilion Verandas, I think, and Indigo Craftsman are good examples of this. They're bigger houses. They cost like 200,000 simoleons, so they're much more expensive. So I have in those houses like the nicer like kitchen appliances and some of the nicer like bathroom stuff. So like that's kind of the idea. I mean, it depends again on the room. Like in some houses I'll have like nicer master bathrooms, and like the other bathrooms might look more dated. So that's kind of like what I'm going for. Now, of course, if I build modern houses, which I haven't done many modern houses recently, but when the ones I did do for the world, those of course are very modern, in like the kitchen and bathroom. They have all the nicer, more expensive stuff. So that's kind of the idea behind all that anyway. So yeah, this house, of course, because it's meant to be like an old house, uses the older stuff. Now you can see I already have kind of the roof down. I do expand the house a little bit on the first floor. I kind of extend it out over more where the garage is, and you'll see that, I like the way it looks, but I don't think you could actually get a car in the garage because the driveway is a little tight, but it's okay. It's The Sims. The cars don't actually go on the driveways, so no matter. But yeah, so I actually really like the way this house turns out. I like the floor plan too. It's like a very cozy house inside. And yeah, so on the first floor, we have a laundry room and a half bathroom. And then there's also the living room, kitchen, dining room, which are all separate rooms. And then you have an office. And up here on the second floor, you have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So actually, I said there's a half bathroom on the first floor. I'm sorry, it's a full bathroom on the first floor. And then the basement just has the garage, there's nothing else down there. And you can see the house is a pretty small footprint. It's not a big house. I mean, I didn't want it to be a big house. So you can see that, the rooms are pretty small. The master bedroom's a good size, but the other 2 bedrooms are meant to be smaller. Anyway, here you can see I'm getting in some of the first floor plan. You can see right now it's quite small. I do change that a little bit. Here I'm adding in the wall for the garage. So the garage is right there. You can see I just put the garage door in, and there's the car in there. And I do actually expand the garage, I think, by 1 block once I add on to the house a little bit. But here I'm getting in some windows. I'm using these windows from Generations, I believe. I don't tend to use them very often. I think I use them sparingly. Like I'll use like 1 on the house or something. So this one I use them quite a lot. But anyway, you can see here I was unhappy with the way the left side of the house was looking. It just looked unbalanced. So I decided to expand it by adding this area over here. So actually the room I'm adding now is going to become the dining room. And then I put this roof in there, as you can see, over it, so it kind of balances the way the house looks. But anyway, so the dining room now is the room that I just added on. I just put a bay window on it, which is nice. And then you have a balcony off of the dining room that faces the ocean, so that's very nice too. And here I'm just getting in some columns that will support that, because basically the driveway is underneath this area. So I wanted the driveway to face the front of the house and not the side. Also, the way I've done it now makes it kind of steep, but yeah, it does mean it's a very tight corner to go around to get into the garage, and then like backing out of the garage, I can't imagine it'd be very easy. So it looks like maybe not that realistic, but I just like the way it looks. So that's what I went with. And here I'm just getting a roof that goes over top the balcony there. So yeah, but I think the house looks more balanced this way. And also I went with the yellow roof for this house, which is something I very rarely use. I used it like a while ago on Oxford Place, I believe is the name of that house I did. And that one had the yellow roof as well. So these are the only 2 houses in the world that I intend on using the yellow roof with, because it's a very particular roof. I feel like it's not something you can just start using everywhere. So I went with this on this house though. I don't know, for some reason it just felt right to me for this house. So I thought, why not? I'll go with the yellow roof. Anyway, here you can see I'm putting in just some stuff in the kitchen. I'm going to put in some furniture, some basic furniture to get the layout down before I go in and start, changing all the colors and everything. But that's the layout of the kitchen, as you can see. And then here I'm coming into the living room, and I'm getting in some couches and chairs that face the fireplace there. Here's the dining room. It's very annoying that the dining chairs and the sides of the tables technically aren't usable because of the door to the balcony on one side and the archway to the living room on the other side, which it looks like there should be enough space there, but of course it's technically not. But I just put it there because I like the way it looks. So just know that you might have to move the dining table if you download the house to get to work. Oh, speaking of downloading the house, of course you could download the house. There's a link in the description below. This house was built on lot number 38, which I think I already said earlier on. But yeah, of course you can download the house. You can add it to Plymouth Isle yourself. And there's a lot map in the description as well. And you can also download the world too. There's a link in the description. And you can see I just put in that ensuite bathroom for one of those bedrooms, which has kind of a funky sloping ceiling there over the sinks. That's kind of where that little area was that I did earlier on. But anyway, I think that's all the placeholder stuff that I put in. So now I'm going to start recoloring some of all the windows and stuff. I don't know, like the last few houses, I like recolored the windows before I placed them all. Or like I recolored one and then just, I dropped it. Of course, with this one, I had to put all the windows on and then go back and recolor them one by one later on, but no matter. So I'm just coming around here and recoloring all the windows. But yeah, you can kind of get a sense of what the house looks like here as I go around it. Now, of course, this is a relatively small lot, and because it's on a hill like this, there's not really any kind of backyard. The main outdoor space is really that kind of place, that little like strip by the retaining wall, which of course I didn't have to have a retaining wall there. I could have had like a really steep hill that went up to the house, but I think it makes it look a little bit better to have a retaining wall. And then also I was able to put like a grill out there and like a little outdoor dining area, which I thought was nice. So that way it's kind of more of a useful area as opposed to just being a hillside. So it kind of acts as a nice little outdoor space. But right now I'm going to go for the color on the outside of the house, which I actually ended up using the same wood color that I used on the windows and doors and trim and all that. So it's kind of very much the same. And I went with like an off-white like wood siding for this house. I don't know, I felt like it looked nice with this one, and I also had a feeling that I wanted this house to be kind of a whitish color, so that's what I went with here. So I'm just getting that on the house. There's really not much anything to contrast this with besides the stone. So of course the stone is on the foundation, and then it's also on the chimney, but besides that the whole house is going to be this material. So it's kind of going for more of that like New England style like vibe with the wood siding. So I thought that would look nice on this house. So just going around and putting that on all the walls and stuff on the outside. So I think that's mostly it under the roof here as well. But yeah, there you go. That's kind of the outside of the house there. I'm going to recolor the front door. I think I'm going to just like a wooden front door. That's kind of like a light yellowish wood. Kind of like that. Something that goes with the roof fairly well. So that is the facade and the whole outside kind of looking good there. But, right here I'm going to work on I do adjust this wall later on as well, but for right now I was just kind of using constrained floor elevation to kind of make it more conform to the hill, but it looks a little strange right now, so I will adjust that later on. Now, of course, when I expanded the house, I managed to mess up the driveway, so here I'm doing it again. So I'm just putting the slope driveway back in and kind of fixing the terrain there, and here I'm just going to use terrain paint to kind of get the driveway in place. So that's what it looks like there. I just used the kind of simple lighter pavement color and some adjustments right there, but otherwise, I think that's, a nice driveway. I don't know. And I'm also going to put just some lights here, though, of course, I'll do more outdoor lighting near the end of the video. Also getting a little edge on that wall there, which is nice. But I think right about now is when we're going to start heading on to the interior of the house. So I'm just going to get some simple lights in here and some simple flooring, nothing too fancy. This house is not really a fancy house. It's not like the ones where I kind of do the fancy flooring, like I get the different decorative flooring kind of around the edges. This one is some pretty simple parquet flooring, which is still nicer than, or not necessarily that's nicer than normal hardwood, but the pattern or the style of the parquet kind of makes the house feel kind of older, which is the vibe that I was going for. And then I used this kind of wallpaper here, the trim that's like a little bit more kind of craftsman-y-ish. I use that kind of around the whole living room area, kind of like the main rooms of the house have that. So like the living room does, the dining room does, and the master bedroom has that kind of wallpaper on it, or not really wallpaper, but the wall trim, which I thought, kind of is nice for this house. Anyway, here I'm just kind of putting in this little trim that kind of goes on the floor around where the fireplace will go. I'm going to fill it in with some stone. I kind of do this on occasion, depends on the house. But yeah, I thought I'd do it with this one. And I'm going to get some tile on that fireplace there. And then some stone for kind of the hearth area and the tile on the floor, or the stone on the floor. But yeah, just doing that right now. And I think, then we'll move on to something else. I don't know. I think I do the living room first and then do the kitchen second, which is interesting. Not really, but it's just kind of different because usually I do the kitchen first. I don't know why. It's usually my go-to. I just go right for the kitchen. But in this house, I decided to do the living room first here. But yeah, you have a nice 3-row sofa, not 3-row, 3-wide sofa, so you can fit 3 people there, and then there's a love seat as well. So you got a total of 6 seats in this living room, including the chair as well, which is nice. So, it's a good size, especially since, it's probably more people than will be living in the house anyway. So, I thought that was pretty good. Speaking of people living in the house, if you want, you could convert the office, which is on the first floor, into a 4th bedroom to fit more Sims in if you wanted to do that. So, I think the office is the same size as the smaller 2 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, except there's no closet. Of course, that's not important for gameplay because the closet's decorative, but I like to include the closets in my bedrooms. So, the bedrooms have closets. The office does not have one. But yeah, it could be easily used as a 4th bedroom. It's just kind of in a strange location because it's kind of like there's a separate room. You go through a door and there's a room, and that's where the basement stairs are. And then there's another door that leads into the office from there. So it's kind of in a slightly odd place, which, I kind of think that adds character, It makes the house more interesting. But yeah, so it's a little bit strange for a bedroom, but I think it's fine for an office. Anyway, here I'm just recoloring the stairs, so I'm just kind of making them match the wood floors, which is nice. So doing that, and also the railings as well. So yeah, just recoloring the basement stairs, as in the same way, and a little railing there at the upstairs landing, and also adding the same wood floor to the master bedroom as well, getting some lights there in the upstairs landing, and getting the same wallpaper there as well. As you can see, the upstairs is definitely pretty small. It's the same thing as like what I was trying to go for with the older style house. A lot of rooms, but they're all smaller, and it's kind of more of a cluttered floor plan, which I think adds character. For the kitchen, I did not go with this floor. It's really weird. So I ended up going with the herringbone. I like to think of it as tile, although I use these masonry like brick, wood, what's it called? Floor tiles, floor material, I guess, in a lot of my houses. You may have noticed recently, it's become like a thing I've been doing a lot, is using like the brick floors in like kitchens and bathrooms and stuff. But I like using it because the patterns are different than like what you can get with like the tile patterns in the game. And when you add like different stone textures to them, it kind of looks like it could be tile, It doesn't necessarily look like brick. So I think it's kind of nice. It kind of looks like more of like a rustic or kind of worn tile. So that's what I went with for the kitchen here. And again, in the theme, like I mentioned earlier, of this house being dated, yes, that was the idea. I wanted the house to look dated. Not necessarily ugly, but still dated. So that's why I went with the cheapest cabinets in the game, which I usually use in starter homes. And again, the cheapest appliances as well. And I went with a red. I went like a maroon color for them. So that was what I was trying to do with like a more of a dated look. But I feel like it's not like bad looking. I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of a style and it's in its own. But yeah, I didn't want to make it look ugly, but I wanted to definitely, make it like read as being old, and like it's not been updated and modernized. That was kind of, that's what I'm going for with it. And also it does with a house like this, which is a smaller house, it's only 3 bedrooms, and I like to detail my house with like a lot of objects, of course, a lot of clutter objects and plants and things like that adds to the price a lot. So using the cheaper appliances and stuff not only is for the appearance, but also does help keep the price down a little bit. So the house is not like 200,000 simoleons, which is like ridiculous for a house that's not really that big. So that's part of it as well. And of course, if you don't have the house, you're more than welcome to go in and renovate the kitchens and bathrooms and modernize them. So, sometimes I do like to make like modern houses that look like they've been like renovated as like they were like an old house and like someone went through and modernized it. In fact, like some of my favorite houses I've done are that way, but that's not really the vibe I was going with for this one. So I wanted it to look like it's not been updated. Anyway, enough with that. So this is the dining room, which I'm mostly done with here. So that's the room that has access to that nice balcony that overlooks the ocean, because, it's nice to have it since there's not really much outdoor space. And you can see just adding some details in this room. So we got some plants and stuff in the corner there. But that's pretty much it, I think, for that room. And I'm going to add a couple more paintings to the living room just for some nice, decoration. But I think that's pretty much it for the main living spaces in the house. So next, I'm just going to add some paint in the little hallway here where you connect the office and you have the basement stairs. This is the laundry room right here. It's right by the front door. It's pretty simple little laundry room. I went with maroon on the appliances in here. A little shelf. I like to do the little shelf over top the washer dryer just so I can put some of the decorative items in there that are from the or go with the washer and dryer and go with the laundry stuff. Anyway, here I'm putting in some lights in the garage. You can see the garage has this funky little alcove in it. So when I detailed the garage, I just put some, of the fast lane stuff, items and things that in there. So it looks like a little area for like the garage. But anyway, putting the wallpaper in here, which is kind of this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like this paneling, I guess. And yeah, I just put like a little workbench with some tools and like another little tool station, a little bucket, I don't know, just some things in the back area of the garage there just to make use of that space, which of course I didn't really need to even keep. I could have just not included that in the basement, but I thought, why not? And yeah, that's pretty much it though for the basement area. So this is the office, which you could also use as a 4th bedroom. You can tell it's very small, but it's nice to have a little office space, especially since it is quite important to have like a computer, as for your Sims. So I have a computer in here, and then I also put in a chess table as well, which I don't know how usable it is. It's kind of crammed in there. And there's also an art easel as well. So, just a few skill building items in this room as well, along with the computer. So that way your Sims can, get some skills, I guess. So anyway, here just recoloring these seats, getting some that matches. I went with like a blue kind of color for this room. So the walls are kind of like this grayish blue, and so is the other decor. But anyway, just getting the computer in there. Also a lamp on the desk, and I think a little detail there, some pencils and a pad of paper. Also some art there on the wall, which I'm just recoloring. And then I think I'll probably get in a rug, I imagine, which we'll see if that happens in a sec, but also a plant in the corner. And, some more plants. There you go. And a little tissue box. And what's happening next? Oh, yellow horse. There it is. Yellow horse is in this house. That's good. And then there's the rug. But yeah, it's pretty much it for the office. So we're going to move on over here to the bathroom. So this is a full bathroom on the first floor. It's, of course, one of the full bathrooms in the house because, all the bathrooms are full bathrooms, but I think that's pretty good. It's a 3-bedroom house. You have 3 full bathrooms. This is the only bathroom in the house that's not an ensuite. So on the second floor, the master bedroom obviously has an ensuite, and then one of the other bedrooms has an ensuite bathroom, and then this one is on the first floor, so it does mean the other bedroom, whoever's staying there would have to come downstairs to use the bathroom and shower and stuff, which is kind of strange, but, it's not the worst. But I did make that bedroom, the one that doesn't have the ensuite bathroom, like a nursery, so it's kind of less of an issue, but, it's still kind of strange, but that's fine. There really, though, was no way I have to like redo the whole floor plan if I wanted to try to have a hallway bath on the second floor. But anyway, up here, we're going to begin with the master bedroom. So the master bedroom is fairly decent size. It has a nice view of the ocean out those windows behind the bed, which is nice. And here I'm just trying to get some lights to go in this bathroom because it has the funky ceiling. So I kind of had to get those in. But anyway, here in the bedroom, you can see I went with a very calming kind of light and breezy color scheme. You have like these light creamy grayish walls, and then you like very off-white, and then you have the bedspread that's kind of like a sea color, like a seafoam green. I don't even know a very like subtle greenish blue. So yeah, it's a relaxing color scheme in this room, which I think is nice. Anyway, just recoloring that picture frame and this curtains over here, getting in the curtains that kind of course go with the color scheme of the room, and some lights and stuff in all the different rooms. And I'm also going to get in a little side table over here, which I thought was nice to have. Get an alarm clock on there, and just some various plants, and also a rug, of course. So putting that in and recoloring it as well. So yeah, just a very calming, like nice, relaxing master suite, which I thought was kind of nice. So yeah, just doing that and recoloring the rug there as well. And then we're going to move on over here to the master bathroom. So the master bathroom has a tub shower that are separate. I couldn't fit a double sink in here if I wanted to, but because I did the separate tub and shower, there wasn't room. So if I had, of course, used the tub shower combo, I could have fit 2 sinks, but it's fine. I kind of wanted the separate tub and shower because it kind of makes it feel more like a master bathroom. But here I'm again using like the brick texture on, or like a brick pattern for the flooring, but I make it kind of look like tile. So just getting that in, and then also some blinds, of course, on the windows, and then just some small details. I got some towels and stuff. I already got toilet paper in here, but then also some mats on the floors, and I think a little bit of art on the wall there, but otherwise that's pretty much it. So there you go. And then of course some clothes in the closet. That's always good to have. So looking for that, and there it is. Wonderful. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the master suite. The next bedroom is going to be a kid's bedroom. I didn't really make a guest room for this house. I didn't really feel necessary. It's only a 3-bedroom house. So yeah, this is a kid's room. I went with more like an ocean theme with this one, because the house is by the ocean, you got views of the ocean from certain rooms. So I'll go for like a beach ocean theme for the kids' room, which is kind of fun. So yeah, I got like the lighthouse and stars wallpaper, and it's all kind of blue and beachy, which I thought was, well, not really beachy, but it's oceany, and got the bedspread on, and there's the side table, or the bedside table, nightstand, whatever you want to call it. and looking for a lamp here. Got that lamp and a little alarm clock as well. And then I got the dresser here. And then I also wanted to have like a little computer for this kid, I don't know if they want to like do their homework or something. So of course the desk wasn't really going to fit. So I used this dining table and I put a laptop on it. Of course the table's blocking the closet door, but the closet's not usable anyway because it's just for decoration. So I thought like, whatever, it's fine. The closet's there. The door's blocked, but no matter. So yeah, I also just got some posters on the walls and some toys and little stuff. But I think that's pretty much it for that bedroom. Very cute though, little kid's room. And also getting in some clothes in the closet as well. And then the bathroom. So yeah, this bedroom has an ensuite bathroom as well. And I went with just solid color for the walls. I did not go with the wallpaper, but yeah, of course there's the funkiness with the walls with like where it's warped because of the constrained floor elevation, but it's just the way it is, so don't worry about it. I mean, I whatever. Sometimes I try to hide it, like on the outside of the house you can see it too with the material that I used, but it's fine. Like sometimes I'm like whatever, it is what it is. I like the shape that you get like by using the angled wall. And you just have to deal with the consequences with the way it warps the wallpaper. Of course, I could have used a plain color or like a vertical siding, but I don't like it sometimes. So I just like to use what I want to use. So yeah. Anyway, that's the bathroom. So this is the last room here. This is the nursery. I went with kind of like a yellow color scheme for this room. Very, very like calm yellow though. It's like a very soft yellow. And it's a nice little star pattern on the walls. Here I'm just kind of recoloring the crib as well. I don't tend to do nurseries that often. I've been trying to do it a little bit more because I feel like I don't really cater to like that age group with my houses. I generally just make my houses like, a master bedroom, a guest bedroom, and then just like kids and teens rooms, but I very rarely do like nurseries. So I thought, why not? I'll do it at this house. So, got that going on here, and I thought this was the perfect room to do it with because you'd give the older child the room with the bathroom, and the baby would just get the room without the bathroom. So it kind of sucks when they get older, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I got the crib, rocking chairs, a dresser there. I got some toys as well on the floor, so putting those in. And then there's something in that corner. I'm not quite sure what though. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, there's also like this little boat there that goes on top of the dresser, and I was going to put wall art, but I didn't. So actually I put a shelf in, which, this hope that the shelf doesn't fall onto the crib. That would be bad. We don't want that. But I liked the way the shelf looked, so I put it in. And yeah, getting a rug in. I guess I didn't put anything in that corner anyway, but yeah, a little rug, got a lamp. There's like a little lamp over there in that corner as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then the closet as well. So just recoloring that. I think I put clothes in it, even though, we wouldn't really have traditional clothes, but you'd have clothes for a child anyway. So, whatever. Anyway, that's the interior pretty much, I think. I put a little runner down there in the basement, but from now on, we're just going to be doing the outside stuff. So yeah, just some simple landscaping. Here I'm just getting in the front walkway that kind of leads up to the house. I got some stairs there you got to go up to get into the front door, but it's fine. Here I put some rocks. I used some rocks to kind of hide the areas where the terrain was like a little steep and kind of funky. So I put some rocks there, and also along the driveway here. I tried smoothing it out, but then it just messed up the driveway. So I was like, whatever. I'll put some rocks down along the driveway. So yeah, I just made like a nice little rock retaining wall here, which also kind of does a nice little like splits up the front lawn a little bit, and yeah. And then I put actually extended the driveway a little bit, so that, I guess if cars need a little bit more space, they got a little bit more space there, but not much. And I put a little fence there so you don't drive off accidentally down that steep hill there into the street. So it was a little fence. And anyway, right now I'm going to get the little back patio area in. So that's the little space there between the house and the retaining wall. And yeah, also just getting some texture on the retaining wall as well. And here I'm just going to adjust it a little bit because it looked a little funky. So I just kind of made it look a little bit nicer on the ends. So I just, did a little bit of constrained floor elevation work there. So it looks a little bit better. And I had to fix the house though, because I screwed that up, but no matter. Anyway, finally getting in some plants here. So as always, I'm using the same kind of plants that I'm usually using on these houses. I want, all the houses in Plymouth Isle to kind of fit in together and for the world to kind of look cohesive. So I'm using these same flowers and bushes and stuff. Most of it's from the base game, except for I think this one flower I use that's from Aurora Heights. Aurora Heights? No, Aurora Skies. Wait, is that what the world's called? I think so. No, that still doesn't sound right. Anyway, that world. So, yeah, so I'm just using those. So it's like those are store items, but they're very, they're not that big a deal. I don't use too many of them. Basically all the landscaping is base game. Anyway, here I'm just getting in some various plants and things, some trees. It makes it look nice. And of course, I'm going to use the dirt terrain paint underneath everything, so it all looks nice that way as well. It's always a very important step. So, also I'm getting in some outdoor lighting as well. So just some porch lights. I put some lights on that wall over there, which is nice. So, also some more plants and flowers there. It gives a little bit of privacy from the street when you're in this little courtyard area. And then also adding in a little dining table and a grill, which is nice. And also a little ceiling fan there that's on that front porch. And then on the side porch here, I put a little reclining chair because that is a nice view of the ocean. But yeah, right now I'm getting the dirt terrain paint. There's going to be some screenshots coming up very soon, so I hope you stick around for those. You can get a better idea of what the house looks like from the inside and everything. And there's also, of course, a download link in the description below, so you can download the house by visiting the description and place it on lot number 38 if you want to. So yeah, and of course, if you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you consider subscribing. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like. And as always, I love to hear your feedback in the comments below. So yeah, right now I'm just doing all the small last minute touches here. Just a few touch-ups of the terrain paint and also the little edge of this porch and that kind of stuff. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you all next time.